Oh, yes. Yeah, see, the basic problem that we had in trying to keep the union alive to service the people was the fact that the city would not allow the union to have a financial base to operate from. And you could have, 500 members, but if you got to chase them down, I don't mean chase them down literally, but if you've got to collect the dues by hand, even though the members may be 100% committed to that organization, if you don't see them, you have an up and down financial situation that you're operating with.
Them are the facts.
Yeah. So the only thing that we did was send in funds to at least give them, mimeograph paper to make bulletins and this type thing, give them some assistance until they got to the point where they could get some type of recognition from the city.
Was there at any time, as far as you know, that the International said, well, now we'll give them up to a certain point? Was there any kind of a deadline? Was there for Memphis?
No, not at all. We have many organizations that are just barely surviving. In order to to keep something there, you've got to do something. You don't set deadlines for either X number of members or anything else.
Yeah. Now, too, there are just a few questions that I think ought to be answered by you in response to some allegations we have heard, and some maybe misconceptions, or we'll see whether they are or not. And that is that at about this time there was some activity on a national scale of your union to set out for a big drive to recruit. Or is this not so?
It's not true at all.
It's not true. Okay.
Bear in mind that since 1964, our union has been increasing in membership all over the place in all classifications of employment. We have organizing drives, but only focus from the local level. See, we don't, for instance, sit back and plan a course of action on a national scale from headquarters. If there's people who want organization, they request it through the local organization, and if there's a need to, then we will assist them in the sense of staff people to do the organizing. But I think you're referring to the charge that Memphis was chosen as a target city. This is absolutely untrue. I think if anyone in their right mind was going to choose a target city at a target time, you would not pick the winter time for a sanitation strike. In a southern city that everyone knows has a reputation for being anti-labor.
Yeah. Now, just to be the devil's advocate in a minute, on the other hand, you might, because you got to break through the South somewhere, somehow, sometime. Why not Memphis?
Well, obviously that's true. I think our concern would be that one, there would have to be enough research and information available to let us know exactly what could be accomplished on a southern regional basis, say. We would want things to be in our favor if we're going to start an organizing drive, and plus we will not start an organizing drive with a strike. There are too many other ways to organize employees short of striking. For instance, I don't think there's any secret about the conditions under which people work. Not just in the South, but in many other areas. There's no secret about the pay levels, and this is where employees are organized.
Yeah, but to get back, to the time we're referring, this is in February. The New York strike had just come in. It had been successful from the point of view of the union. Here was a new government, and here was a city which had the reputation which it believed itself for having good race relations. If you wanted to make a case for the strike to strike, you could make one. And all I guess is, if you say no, we have to say that's right. This is what you're saying. But
I think we have a need, and I don't mean to interrupt, I think we have a need really because you don't tend to take a look at the issue involved if you accept the idea that it was a planned strike for the sake of organization.
This, of course, is part of the accusation. Yeah.
I think what you got to do is take a look at the operations in years past of the sanitation division, and take a look at the problems, the conditions, and really the efforts that had been made by the employees and other people who were not employees to get some of the problems resolved. And then you can see some of the frustrations that probably existed about February 10th, when it looked like all things were going to eternally be the same way they were. Now, what meetings took place, if meetings took place with local people, maybe some things were done. But I tend to think that what we had was a tremendous number of problems that had been existing for years, and maybe this present administration had no responsibility for them. But that isn't the way people view the situation. They see you have the ability to correct them, and they're saying correct them. And I think these were the issues, as opposed to us seeking to organize X number of members, because bear in mind, our organization is a voluntary organization. You either belong or you don't belong. We don't have the ability to force anybody to join. It's not a union shop or an agency shop concept that we operate by. You understand what I mean? You understand the difference?